So yes, very good, Adnan. I will send you the PDF. Okay. Once I get it, actually in this lockdown, we are not also not having the material. Once I get the proper material, I will send it to you. Okay. I will send it to all of you. You will start with the write-ups. Okay. See, just focus now. So this is our Hartnell governor, as you all can see it. Okay. Okay. See, I will explain it to you now. What is the practical concept? Okay. See, this is your arm, one arm, and this is your second arm. Okay. It is a bent single arm. Okay. This is not two arms. It is a bell crank lever here. Same way here. Okay. Same way on this side. It is a single arm which is bent. So these are not two parts. Okay. This is a single part. Okay. All of you should know this. This is a single part. Okay. So how is it working? See here now. See, as you all can see, it is having a difference. Okay, it is having a difference as compared to your Porter governor. Porter governor, there were different arms used. The upper arm was different and the lower arm was different. It was just joined to some point like this. Okay. Now what is happening? This is a single bell crank lever. All of you know that a bell crank lever, okay, it is a single arm or a single you can say any steel rod which is bent. Okay, steel rod which is bent, so it is bent. Okay, it is not different. Okay, it is just bent like this. Okay, so it is a single arm. Okay, here also it is a single arm. Here this is a single arm here. Okay, so it is just bent and it is attached to this point. So this point here, okay, on both the side, it will not, just a second, this point it will not move. Okay, you can see when at the practicals, when I will run it. Okay, see, this is the frame. Okay, this is the frame. This is the frame here. Okay, and to this frame we have attached the the bell crank lever here. Okay, the bell crank lever is attached here. So what is happening? See, this is the central sleeve. To this central sleeve, now the spring is attached here. Okay, this is the spring, and what is happening here? On this sleeve, okay, on this sleeve, we are not putting load as in case of a Porter governor. We are putting the spring. So the spring, this compressed spring, it is giving the force to put it down. Okay, it is acting the force. The force is acting downwards. Okay, in this direction here. Okay, so because of this spring force, the downward force is created here. Okay, not because of the load. In Porter governor, on this sleeve, okay, this sleeve, we put load and we try to create a downward force. But here, instead of your load, we are using a spring. So it is a spring controlled governor, not a loaded type of governor. It comes under the classification of spring controlled governor. Okay, so what will happen? Adnan, see here now, as this sleeve will lift, what will happen? Because of the increase in speed, the whole system will rotate, and as the speed increases, what will happen? See, all of you focus. You are not focusing on the lectures also taken by Zia Momin sir. Okay, just see, this is connected with the help of this motor. Okay, here is a motor. We cannot take an engine here. Okay, this is a motor. With the help of this motor, we are rotating the sleeve and we are controlling the speed of the governor. Okay, we are controlling the speed of the governor. Okay, so see here now, what will happen? It will increase the motor speed, and because of the belt drive which is connected, okay, because of the belt drive, there is a belt drive down here. Okay, because of the belt drive, it will rotate the governor. But in actual practice, what is happening? See, beneath this there is a belt drive, and the governor is directly connected to the motor. And as the motor, the current to the motor is increased, the speed of the motor will increase, and it will try to rotate the governor. But in actual practice, there is no motor, it is connected to an engine via gears. Okay, hope you are getting all of this. Okay, so now what will happen? See, as he is increasing, it will start rotating. See, sleeve is in contact with the spring here, so it is continuously giving force. Okay, sleeve is in contact with the spring, so it is giving force downward, so it is keeping it down. Okay, so you cannot easily lift it. See, increase the speed. Okay, the we have to increase it so that the just a second, I will clear all the drawings. Yes, see, this is a scale which will measure the lift of the governor, how much it is going up. Okay, so 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter. In the first case, he will take just 1 centimeter. Okay, students. Then in the second reading, he will take 2 centimeters. So as the speed is increasing, the radius will increase. Okay. So now, see, scale is in centimeters. Okay. So see, it is not getting lifted so easily. Okay. Because of the arm which is attached here, just understand the working and the setup. See, this is the arm, okay, of the bell crank lever which is attached. So because of this arm, what will happen? It will push it up, and the spring getting compressed, and the governor sleeve will lift up, and it will operate the fuel control valve. Okay, by an attachment, it will operate the fuel control valve. All of you have learned that in theory, and it will, what it will do, Adnan, it will restrict the supply of fuel. It will not increase the supply of fuel. Okay, as the speed is increasing, we have to control it. Okay, Adnan, keep it in mind. You are attending lectures, so you should know this, that if the governor speed is increasing, the load has decreased. So what will happen? As the governor sleeve is moving up, and then what will happen? As it is moving up, it is closing the fuel control valve. Okay, it is not opening the fuel control valve. Okay, keep it in mind, and it is trying to reduce the speed to the desired value. Okay, so all of you know it works on load. Okay, as the load increases or decreases, it operates. Okay, if the load has decreased, then what will happen? The engine doesn't have a load. Okay, so then what will happen? The fuel supply is there. Okay, and the engine speed will increase. So the engine speed will increase to a maximum value. We have to keep it in a proper range. So that is why we have made the arrangement that if the load has decreased on the engine, okay, its speed will increase, of course. Okay, and therefore as the speed is increasing, okay, we have to reduce it. Okay, so see the video now. See, we will keep a tachometer on this point, and we will note the speed of the governor or the speed of the spindle. Okay, we will note the speed of the spindle. Okay, so we will get, with the help of a tachometer, we have it in our lab setup. Okay, so we will get to know about it in the practicals also. Okay, so we will put a tachometer here, digital tachometer. Okay, and we will get to know the contact type tachometer we can put it here, and we will get to know the speed. Okay, so now let us move ahead, just see the working now. We have to note the speed, okay, and the lift. Speed and lift, rest is all the calculation, and we will discuss it. Okay, we have to find out controlling force, radius, and all. Okay, this is just a diagram. Okay, see, all of you note it. See, all of you note this O point here. Okay, this O point where the bell crank lever is attached to the frame. This is not moving from its point. Okay, as the frame is attached, it is fixed. Okay, so it will not move. It will not move up or down. Okay, only the bell crank lever. See how it is moving as the frictional force is increasing. This is moving here. Okay, And what is happening, because this is moving here, the angle here is congruent. This is always congruent, this is always the same, it will not change. Here the 90° will not change. So initially the position was like this, okay, the bell crank lever was attached, okay, this point was below the sleeve, okay. Now because of the speed increase, because of the centrifugal force, now the next position will be this, see this. So the angle between this, okay, lower arm and upper arm, this will not change, this will always be 90°, because it is just a single steel rod which is bent, okay. So this angle will not change according to the conditions. That is why only it is able to lift the sleeve, okay. As this will move because of the centrifugal force, okay, the upper arm will be moving like this, and the horizontal arm, this horizontal arm will be moving like this, and it will try to lift the sleeve which is located here at this point, okay. Hope you all are getting this. So see here now, because with the help of the geometry, we are trying to find out the formulas. See, this is the horizontal, this is the vertical. We have to find out the length. Okay, length of the vertical arm, length of the horizontal arm. Okay, we just have to measure it, and we have to find out. Okay, the length of the vertical arm, we used to do it in the practicals. Okay, the length of the vertical arm, that is this from the center point here. Okay, from the center point here till this. This is the length of the vertical arm. All of you know this, I think so. You have done it in theory. See in actual practice how it is going on. Okay, this is the length of the horizontal arm. Okay, this is the horizontal arm, this is the vertical arm. Okay, so now see, the similar triangles which we are getting. Okay, by using that formula only we have derived the formula, all of you know. Okay, next we will plot the graph. Okay, we will see this. First to see the video how it is working. Okay, yes, all of you see how it is working. Okay, hope you all are seeing the screen. If you are not able to see the screen, you can tell me. Okay, see, this is the working. Okay, see, here is the governor. Okay, this is the arrangement. Okay, here is the arrangement. Okay, this is the another arrangement done to control the fuel supply to the engine. Okay, here you can see with the help of the engine, okay, and with the help of these gears only, here what we are getting the rotation to the central sleeve here. Okay, and this is the central sleeve which is located here. Okay, so this whole setup will rotate, and what will happen, these balls, okay, will move outwards. Okay, and it will lift the sleeve. Just observe it now. See, this is the working load. See what is happening as I increase the load. As I am increasing the load, okay, the load is increased means what? Let it be, some more passengers have sat on the vehicle. It might be possible because of some more passengers, there will be load on the engine, because now it has to do more work to carry that much amount of passengers. Okay, so another thing is that it is going up the hill, up the mountain. Then also there is a high load, sorry, there is a high load on the engine, and therefore you require more power. Therefore you have to, what you have to do, you have to increase the supply. You have to give more fuel to the engine. So see here, now the load is increasing. When is increasing the load, this is the high load. So what will happen at high load, this fuel supply here, it is allowing to give more fuel supply, okay, here, okay. And when the load is decreasing, okay, when it will move it here. So what will happen when the load is decreasing, automatically what will happen, the engine speed will increase, engine speed will increase, this sleeve will move up, okay, and the radius will increase, the radius of rotation, all of you know the radius of rotation, it will increase, and therefore this will move up. As it is moving up, what will happen, with the help of this lever here, okay, with the help of this lever, it will try to close the fuel supply, okay. The whole fuel supply will not be closed, so there will be some amount of fuel supply to control it, okay. So now see, 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 one thing is there very important, this frame, it is not rotating here in this animation, but that is done purposely, huh? Okay, just note it down, the frame is not rotating here in the video, but in actual practice the whole frame, the whole setup is rotating, you might have seen that, okay. Just to notice, just to show you that this point is not moving, okay, this point is at the same position. He wants to show you that this point is not moving from its position, it will not move outwards also, it will not move upwards also, it will not move downwards also, nor here also, okay. So this point will not move, okay. Hope you all are getting this. Just you want to show you, I will show you the actual setup also. See what is happening now, the speed, all of you observe this. I hope you all have seen this, okay. Zia sir might have uh, taught you with the help of some videos also. See what is happening at low load, what is happening at low load, there is low load now, the load has decreased, means what, there are few people in the vehicle and you can say the vehicle is moving downwards, okay. So there is no load, so when the load has decreased, what has happened, the speed of the engine has increased because there is no load. So it doesn't have to do much work, there is no load on the engine, it is free, so it is increasing, okay. The because of less fuel supply also, it has increased the speed. So the जैसे ही वो speed increase होता है, okay, as the speed is increasing little bit, this sleeve is moving upwards, okay, this sleeve is moving out upwards, and as it is moving upwards, what will happen, see, as it is moving upwards, this point, okay, see, this point is going here, okay, this horizontal arm, it is changing its position like this. Why it is able to change the position, because this vertical arm has changed the position, there is a centrifugal force acting on the ball here, okay, in this direction, outward direction. So as you can see, as it has moved up at this position, the fuel supply is decreased, see, it has closed the fuel supply here. All of you observe this, the radius of rotation, the radius of rotation has increased here. Yes, Adnan, the radius of rotation has increased, the what is happening, the height of this governor, it is decreased, okay, this is the height, okay, same as your quarter governor, okay, this is the height, of the governor. This is not required in the calculations here. Okay, I'm just showing you. So what is happening? The fuel supply is cut off. Why they are cutting off the fuel supply? Because there is no load on the engine. There is very less load. So because of that, what has happened? That the engine speed has increased. See here, the engine speed is increased. Rotation of the speed has increased, and because of that, what is happening? There is more speed. We doesn't require that much amount of speed. It should not go above the range. So therefore, what is happening now? It has cut off now. Slowly the speed of the engine will decrease, and as it will move down, again this will go horizontal. Okay, here. Okay, this valve will go horizontal, and there will be some fuel supply, and it will try to keep the speed in the equilibrium. Okay. See, spring force has, the central sleeve has forced upward, and the spring force has increased. Okay, spring force has increased, and the fuel supply is cut off. See now, what is happening now? As it is going to working load, the rotation speed has decreased. Okay, okay, it is sensitive to the speed change of the engine. See, this is our Hartnell governor. Okay, okay. See now, this is our Hartnell governor, and he is increasing the speed. Okay, with the help of a controller. See, at some speed, it is not moving up. The sleeve is not moving up. Okay, now it is sleeve displacement is there. Okay, sleeve has lifted up, and what is happening? The radius of rotation is increasing. Okay, see, the frame is also rotating. Okay, okay. So sleeve lift and the radius. Okay, these are the two input parameters. Okay, with the help of that input parameters, we have to calculate the values. All of you have understood this, students. Okay, so the frame is also rotating. Okay, with it, and the point at which the bell crank lever is attached to the frame, okay, that point is at the same place. It is not moving. All of you have understood. So let us move to the calculations now. See, very simple. See, we have to take these values. All of you are getting this. Length of the vertical arm is 0.07 meters. Okay, length of the horizontal arm, we are taking it as B, that is 0.11 meters. Okay, so the length of the vertical arm is less, and the length of the horizontal arm is more. Okay, so what is happening? Because the length of the horizontal arm is more, there is a distance between the central spindle and the frame. Okay. Another thing, initial radius of rotation when the governor is not rotating. Okay, when the governor is not rotating, the initial radius of rotation is 0. Okay, 0.153. If you are not able to see it, I am writing it here. 0.153. This is the initial when it is not rotating. 0.153. Okay, 0.153 meters. Okay, so this is the initial radius of rotation. Weight of the sleeve assembly. Okay, weight of the sleeve is 22.1 Newton. Okay, that is approximately 2 kg, 2.2 kg weight of the sleeve. Okay, so it is quite heavy. Another thing, this weight is acting downward and the spring force is also acting downward. This is the stiffness of the spring which we have taken. These are all the things which is given. These are the specifications of the given by the manufacturer. Okay, stiffness we are using 1230 Newton per meter. All of you know stiffness is 1230 Newton per meter. Mass of the ball is 2 into 0.092 kg. Mass of the ball is 0.092 kg. Okay, so there are two balls, therefore they are multiplying it by 2. Okay, so hope you all are getting this. Now we will move ahead. Okay, we will move ahead now. See, one more thing. These are the two balls. Okay, see, there are two balls attached here. Okay, here this is 1 and here this is 2. So what is telling, this is the mass of the ball on the one side of the axis. 2 into 0.092 is the mass of the ball which is attached on the one side. So these are the this is the mass on one side. Okay, don't consider it on the both the sides of the axis. Okay, he is telling there are two balls, therefore he has multiplied it by 2. Okay, not because it is on both the sides of the axis. Okay, so this total mass is 2 into 0.092. Okay, this total. Okay, don't get confused. Now you have to calculate the values. Okay, all of you calculate the values now. Just note down the observation table, note down the specifications. Okay, you just have to find out the values. Yes, make this observation table, all of you, and try to find out the values. Okay, yes, see serial number 1. Okay, it is the 260 rpm. Okay, on 260 rpm what he found is that the lift is 0.01 meter, that is 1 centimeters. Okay, so on 260 rpm he got a lift. Before that it did not move up. Okay, and spring force in Newton is 12.3. so this he has calculated, and radius also he has calculated, and controlling force also he has calculated. The only thing which we are getting is these two things. Okay, speed and lift. Okay, speed and lift we are is the observation which we are getting. Okay, rest all the things we have to calculate. So you just find out one value. Okay, so see, with the help of these values you can use the calculation. See, all of you know this formula is, if you have done the theory. So radius of rotation is calculated by this formula. Okay, r1 is equal to a by b into x plus r. Okay, and because of that, see, this is the length of the vertical arm, length of the horizontal arm a by b, into x. X is the sleeve displacement, that is 0.01. Okay, and this is the initial radius of rotation. Initial radius of rotation means the point when we have not started. So we can easily measure it with the help of a scale, which we are doing in the practicals in our lab. Okay, which we used to do. Okay, we just took a scale and we used to measure the initial radius of rotation, that is the distance from the central axis and the ball. So that is 0.153 meters. That is approximately 15 centimeters. Okay, so 0.153 meters. All the things are in meters. Hope you are getting this. So I am getting the radius of rotation at 260 rpm, that is 0.159. Okay, the spring force. Okay, spring force is given by K into X, where K is the stiffness. Stiffness we know 1230. Okay, into 0.01, you will get 12.3 Newton. Okay, this is the centrifugal force F1. F1 centrifugal force. Okay, that is given by mr omega square. Mr omega square. So we have calculated the radius of rotation at 260 rpm. Okay, we have to substitute it here. Okay, this is my 2 pi n, that is 260. Okay, so this is 260 rpm. Okay, and therefore if I multiply it by 0.15396, 0.15936, we'll get 21.737 Newton. Okay, so this is my centrifugal force which is acting at the ball. Okay, centrifugal force which is acting at the ball. It is the centrifugal force. Okay, so I will get the centrifugal force. I have to plot the graph of centrifugal force versus the radius, and I have to know the values. So can you all calculate for the next thing and tell me? Okay, now he has increased the speed. Okay, so just calculate and try it. Now he has increased the speed. Okay, and he is getting the sleeve lift as 0.02. Okay, see here. He is getting the speed as 290. At speed 290, he is getting 0.02 as the sleeve lift. See, we are at the second. So can you all tell me the values? See, spring force is getting 24.6. Can you all calculate and verify it? What is the spring force? What is the centrifugal force? What is the radius? Can you all calculate it, students? Yes, please reply. Will you? Are you all interested? See, only 1 minute is remaining for our this practical. You have to rejoin. Okay. So hope you are getting this. We have to verify it, and we have to plot a graph. So we will plot a graph of centrifugal force versus the radius. Okay. So we can easily analyze. Okay, which type, how the governor is working. So should all of you should just start and tell me the values. Hope you are taken a book and a